Do you know your rights if immigration officers show up at your work site? Because, guys, that's a real possibility, and the implications are real for both employees and employers. ICE raids are popping up and happening in record numbers. So, by the time you finish this video, you'll know when employers have to let ICE in and when they can legally say no. We'll also talk about what happens to businesses who get caught up in a raid, what rights employees have in these situations, and the key steps that employers need to take right now to protect themselves. Hi, I'm Harlow Reed, employment lawyer, HR consultant, and creator of the HR Insider. On this channel, I do more than share my legal opinion. I break down real legal cases to show you how the law might apply to your situation. Today, we are talking about an active legal case. Usually, I focus on cases that have already been adjudicated or decided because that's when important legal guidelines are established. But immigration is such a pressing issue right now. The Trump administration has prioritized enforcement and compliance more than ever before. Just in the first 22 days of February 2025, ICE arrested more individuals than in any other month for the past 7 years. And this means that U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, is on a mission. And their recent increase in raids has many people concerned. Because when ICE arrives at your workplace, your kid's school, or even your place of worship, they may intend to pick up undocumented people, but their actions impact more than just the person who's being taken into custody. The person who's being picked up isn't the only person who's experiencing what's happening. A child that's seeing their classmate taken away, or a friend whose mother has been deported. These are experiences that stir up real emotions within us, all of us, and have real psychological consequences. The actions of ICE can ripple through and affect entire communities in ways that we can't imagine. And that's why today I wanted to share exactly what's happening, why it's important, and how you can protect those around you and safeguard yourself too. Let's talk about it. The content on this channel is for informational purposes only and shouldn't be taken as legal advice. Always consult a qualified attorney or HR professional for guidance on your specific situation. And hey, don't forget to like and subscribe. This case starts at Dolce's Cafe, a bakery located in Los Fresnos, Texas. Dolce's Cafe is owned and operated by Leonardo Baez and Alicia Avila Giel and was founded in 2012. ICE received an anonymous tip that Leonardo and Alicia were aiding undocumented people. On February 12th, 2025, ICE agents raided Abby's Bakery and found two undocumented workers and six employees with visas that did not authorize employment. Even more alarming, authorities claim that the owners provided housing for unauthorized workers in a room near the bakery. Leonardo Baez and Alicia Avila Giel have been criminally charged with harboring illegal aliens. They both pled not guilty, but now they will face up to 10 years in prison and a $250,000 fine. From this case, we can see that not only are the consequences for noncompliance with immigration laws serious, but when ICE workplace raids any business, it can be stressful. Whether you're an employer or an employee, knowing your rights and responsibilities is the key to handling the situation legally and keeping yourself out of trouble. A lot of people assume that if ICE shows up, they have to immediately answer every question and do exactly what they're told, or they'll end up in handcuffs. But that's not how it works. You have rights. And if you're clear on what you can and cannot do, there's no need to panic. There's no need to make a scene. Because trust me, freaking out in front of your coworkers is only going to land you, a permanent spot in that story, that office story that never goes away. So the best way to stay calm is just to be informed. So here's what you need to know if ICE ever raids your worksite. Hey, are you still watching? If you find this video helpful, please take a moment to like and subscribe. Your support really helps. Thanks. So, if immigration agents show up at your work site, there are three common reasons why they're there: either to conduct a Form I 9 audit, to conduct a raid, or to detain specific employees, specific people at that work site. ICE doesn't always give that proverbial knock before entering either, so don't expect that. They can enter the public areas of your business, such as your lobby, without your official permission. But ICE doesn't have the authority to stop, they don't have the authority to question, and they can't just arrest anyone because they are in a public area. For access to the private areas of an employer, of a business, ICE needs either the permission of the employer or a judicial warrant. A judicial warrant is from a court and it's signed by a judge. Don't be fooled by an administrative warrant either. An administrative warrant usually says Department of Homeland Security, and it doesn't give ICE the right to enter private areas of your business without permission. Don't get confused or tricked. You do not have to allow ICE to enter any private area without a judicial warrant, even if they act like they have the authority to go wherever they want. And remember, even if ICE does have a judicial warrant, it only gives them authority to enter into those areas that are actually identified on the warrant. In the past, ICE has used a sensitive locations policy, which means they have restricted enforcement of Homeland Security and immigration enforcement measures at schools, educational institutions, hospitals, healthcare facilities, places of worships, public events. But enforcement actions at these locations aren't impossible. But ICE does typically avoid them unless they have prior approval to um, go into those locations due to special circumstances like public safety threats or national security concerns. But with the heightened interest around immigration, I would expect that ICE will attempt to have raids at these locations. In fact, I've already heard of a couple of raids that they have attempted at elementary schools. So I would expect, and we should all probably expect that this is a possibility. So let's talk about what you should do if ICE shows up at your work site. The first thing is to request to see ICE's warrant, the warrant that they have to be on your work site, and carefully examine it, making sure that it's a judicial warrant that's signed by a judge, not just an administrative warrant. You also want to contact legal counsel immediately if ICE arrives. And if you don't have legal counsel, you don't have an employment lawyer on staff, I would begin to do my research and identify an employment lawyer that I can use as a resource and make sure that that employment lawyer either specializes in immigration law or has a partner or a resource that they can use that specializes in employment law. This is especially true at sensitive locations like schools and hospitals. If ICE shows up, you want to make sure that you're doing the right thing and that you're not just giving them carte blanche to walk the facility and to be disruptive there in a hospital or a school, because that can result in just a lot of chaos and additional risk for schools and hospitals. If ICE has an administrative warrant identifying a specific employee, there's two things you do not have to do. Two things. The first thing is you don't have to bring the agent to the employee. Number one. And number two, you don't have to let the agent know if the employee is working that day. HR, the personnel leaders that you have there, the company president, and all other employees can ask to speak to a specific attorney or ask the immigration officer for a list of pro bono lawyers before speaking to immigration authorities or answering any questions. In fact, everyone can just stay silent if they want. No one has to state where they were born, whether they are in the United States legally, or how long they have been in the United States. Employees also do not have to sign anything or gather in groups according to their country of origin. If an employee is asked to do something like that, they can simply walk to an area where no one is being grouped. Also, employees don't have to show identification or other papers to ICE agents. If ICE agents arrest anyone, make sure you ask where they are being taken so that that employee's lawyer and family members can locate him or her. Enforcement action by ICE routinely includes extensive I 9 audits, so it's important for employers to conduct a self audit and have no concerns about what ICE agents might find if they show up. Employers who are facing an audit of their I 9s should remember three things. First, you don't have to and you should not turn over your documents immediately because you have 3 days from receiving a request to provide your Form I 9s for audit. Second, you should contact an immigration attorney before providing anything to ICE. The attorney may do a quick review of your I 9s with you to make sure that they are compliant. And then, third, you should notify employees and any union representative about the audit as soon as possible. During the visit by ICE, make sure you write down the agents' names and what happened. After the visit, fill in any blanks in your notes and contact an immigration attorney for guidance on the next steps you should take. If immigration agents acted inappropriately, ask witnesses to provide written statements about what they saw and heard. And of course, if ICE notified you of any violations, correct them immediately. The bakery case we talked about earlier highlights a really important legal issue. Federal law makes it clear it is a crime to knowingly shelter, transport, or hide unauthorized workers, and employers can be held criminally responsible, not just fined, criminally responsible if they are helping unauthorized workers to break the law. And ICE has publicly said that, and very clearly said, that we should all expect even more aggressive enforcement moving forward. Employees also have rights during ICE raids. They have the right to remain silent. They don't have to answer questions. They have the right to seek legal counsel. They don't have to answer questions or sign anything prior to speaking with an attorney. And they can refuse to provide false documents. They have the right to consult legal counsel before they move forward with providing and cooperating with the ICE agent. When it comes to managing an ICE raid, being informed is truly your best protection. Know your rights, stay calm, and seek legal counsel during this time where we know there will be an increased number of raids. It is important to have an employment attorney, an immigration resource lawyer that you can reach out to if this becomes an issue for you. If you found this video helpful, share the video and subscribe for more real time updates on critical workplace issues. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.